Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I apologize for the late start. I had to reboot my computer. That's one sentence. That's what happened. Obviously, I'm having some technical problems. So this morning's class is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, and Text 6. And we're fortunate to have His Grace, dear Krishna Prabhu, to give the class. ISKCON Harrisburg and Brooks Bhakti Yoga. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Let's start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradhari, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jam Vishnupad, Paramhans Parvakacharya, Ashtotatshi Srimad His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय, श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, गंगा देवी की जय, यमुना देवी की जय, वृंदा देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today our verse number is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, and verse number 6. सनकः भगवल्लोकान् नृलोकं पुनरागतः vimṛjya netre viduraṁ prītyāhoddhava utsmayan śanakair bhagaval-lokān nṛlokaṁ punarāgatah vimṛjya netre viduraṁ prītyāhoddhava utsmayan śanakair bhagaval-lokān nṛlokaṁ punarāgatah vimṛjya netre viduraṁ prītyāhoddhava utsmayan. Hare Krishna, devotees can recite.
śanakair bhagaval-lokān nṛlokaṁ punarāgatah vimṛjya netre viduraṁ prītyāhoddhava utsmayan.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances.
śanakair bhagaval-lokān nṛlokaṁ āgataḥ vimṛjya netre viduraṁ prītyāhoddhava utsmayan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
śanakair bhagaval-lokān nṛlokaṁ punarāgatah vimṛjya netre viduraṁ prītyāhoddhava utsmayan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
śanakair bhagaval-lokān nṛlokaṁ punarāgatah vimṛjya netre viduraṁ prītyāhoddhava utsmayan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shen Prabhu. Okay. Word to word meanings. Śanakair, gradually, Bhagavat, the Lord, Lokat, from the abode, nṛlokaṁ, the planet of the human beings, punaha āgataḥ, coming again, vimṛjya, wiping, netre, eyes, viduraṁ, unto Vidura, prītyā, in affection, aha, said, Uddhava, utsmayan, by all those remembrances. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The great devotee Uddhava soon came back from the abode of the Lord to the human plane, and wiping his eyes, he awakened his remnants of the past and spoke to Vidura in a pleasing mood. Purport. When Uddhava was fully absorbed in the transcendental ecstasy of love of God, he actually forgot all about the external world. The pure devotee lives constantly in the abode of the Supreme Lord, even in the present body, which apparently belongs to this world. The pure devotee is not exactly on the bodily plane, since he is absorbed in the transcendental thought of the Supreme. When Uddhava wanted to speak to Vidura, he came down from the abode of the Lord Dwarka to the material plane of human beings. Even though a pure devotee is present on this mortal planet, he is here in relation to the Lord for engagement in transcendental loving service and not for any material cause. A living entity can live either on the material plane or in the transcendental abode of the Lord in accordance with his existential condition. The conditional changes of the living entity are explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the instructions given to Srila Rupa Goswami by Lord Sri Chaitanya. The living entities all over the universes are enjoying the effects of the respective fruitive results of their own work, life after life. Out of all of them, some may be influenced by the association of pure devotees and thus get the chance to execute devotional service by attainment of taste. This taste is the seed of devotional service, and one who is fortunate enough to have received such a seed is advised to sow it in the core of his heart. As one cultivates a seed by pouring water to fructify it, the seed of devotional service sown in the heart of the devotee may be cultured by pouring water in the form of hearing and chanting of the holy name and pastimes of the Lord. The creeper of devotional service, so nourished, gradually grows, and the devotee, acting as a gardener, goes on pouring the water of constant hearing and chanting. The creeper of devotional service gradually grows so high that it passes through the entire material universe and enters into the spiritual sky, growing still higher and higher until it reaches the planet Golok Vrindavan. The devotee gardener is in touch with the abode of the Lord even from the material plane by dint of performing devotional service to the Lord simply by hearing and chanting. As a creeper takes shelter of another, stronger tree, similarly the creeper of devotional service, nourished by the devotee, takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and thus becomes fixed. When the creeper is fixed, then the fruit of the creeper comes into existence, and the gardener who nourished it is able to enjoy this fruit of love, and his life becomes successful. That Uddhava attained this stage is evident from his dealings. He could simultaneously reach the supreme planet and still appear in this world. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So welcome devotees once again, and my humble obeisances to His Great Vishnu Prabhu and Parikshit Prabhu and all the Vaishnavas on this call. So very very wonderful verse and purport, and to me it seems like Srila Prabhupada in his purport is giving the essence, the whole gist of nectar of devotion. I have absolutely no realization what is being spoken in this verse and being described, but from whatever I have learned, what I have heard from senior devotees, from Gurujans, I will try to share, and then we can hear from Vishnu Prabhu and Parikshit Prabhu also. So, and Parikshit Prabhu, if I can request you to please give me the co-host. I might have to share something later if time permits. Thank you. So in this section, we are seeing that one of the highest state of pure consciousness, pure devotional consciousness is being revealed, as Uddhava Maharaj is expressing, or not showing, but we can see the ecstatic emotions are manifesting in his body and his consciousness. So as we know, the context of this verse is Lord Shri Krishna has completed his earthly pastimes. Vidura Maharaj, he's on the pilgrimage and he meets Uddhava Maharaj. And when he meets Uddhava Maharaj, that reminds him of Shri Krishna. And he starts asking questions about Krishna and his devotees. So we saw all that in the previous verses in the last chapter also. Now when Uddhava Maharaj hears those questions from Vidura Maharaj, and before he could even respond, something very extraordinary, ordinary is happening. Because as soon as he heard the name of Krishna and his name and his devotee's name, all the pastimes and all the memories are coming into Uddhava Maharaj's mind, in his heart, and he is becoming overwhelmed. And he actually enters into deep meditation, deep remembrance. And he seems to have lost the consciousness or touch to the material world. And this verse, so that's what we saw in the previous verse. And then in this verse, it seems he's coming back from his absorption, from internal absorption. He's coming back. Now, who is Vidura Maharaj and who is Uddhava Maharaj? They are great personalities in our scriptures, mentioned in our scriptures. Vidura Maharaj is none other than Yamraj himself. By some pastime of Lord, and as a result of that pastime, he got a curse from a great rishi, and he appeared as Vidura in a so-called low-caste family. But actually he is a Mahajan, he is a spiritual authority to all of us, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a great personality. And Uddhava Maharaj is a very intimate associate of Shri Krishna. He loves Krishna so much, and he is so much dear to Shri Krishna that it is described that he looks like Krishna. And he doesn't use anything other than remnants of Shri Krishna, whether it is cloth, ornaments, anything. Only thing he uses is whatever is remnant of Shri Krishna. So this is Uddhava Maharaj and Vidura Maharaj. And this Uddhava Maharaj is the one who was sent by Shri Krishna to take Krishna's message to gopis in Vrindavan. He was chosen, specifically chosen, right, out of so many. And by association of the greatest devotees of Krishna, Uddhava Maharaj also got further transformation and further advancement. We all know that pastime. How he takes the messages how he goes as a messenger of Shri Krishna to Vrindavan. So now we are seeing the ecstatic emotions, symptoms that are manifesting in Uddhava Maharaj. So very great personalities. So that makes this conversation between Vidura Maharaj and Uddhava Maharaj very profound, very important for all of us. So in this verse, if we see the first line, it says, śanakair bhagaval-lokān nṛlokaṁ punar āgataḥ. Gradually he returned from the Lord's abode to the human plane. So it doesn't say, the verse is not saying that Uddhava imagined about Krishna, he thought about Krishna. He returned from the Lord's abode. That is very powerful. What does it mean? Even in this material world, we see there are yogis who have mastered the yogic powers, the siddhis, ashtasiddhis, and they can actually they have the ability to go anywhere, everywhere. They can even expand themselves into certain number of their expansions. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we heard about the siddhis, Mahima, Laghuma, I don't remember all this, but there are certain siddhis. They can project themselves mentally or subtly into different dimensions. And there are some pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam where we see some saints and sages have, they have manifested, shown those mystic powers also. But these powers, mystic powers in general, are used by these yogis to fulfill certain material objectives. On the other hand, a pure devotee of Shri Krishna, he also possesses all these siddhis, without him being even aware of that, because their objective is not to take any benefit, any material benefit out of these siddhis. But these siddhis in a pure devotees get sometimes manifested during ecstatic moments. when they are overwhelmed with Krishna consciousness emotions. So it is possible. The point is that it is possible that pure devotee, while he is on this planet, in this material world, he can also be in the other dimension, in the spiritual dimension. Again, I'm trying my best to explain because, of course, I have no realization. But we'll see from the examples of some pure devotees that how they have shown this manifestation of their ecstatic emotions. And actually it is also described by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that a pure devotee may appear in this world. He may appear like living like us, normally in this world. But actually, that's why he is pure, because his consciousness is so pure that he is actually situated on the spiritual platform, even while living in this material world. So the principle is, a person or a devotee who is able to engage all of his mind, body and words, everything he possesses in Krishna's service, he is liberated even while he is living in this world. So that's the principle. So Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice analogy, example, that example of a mature coconut, a ripened coconut. So when the coconut is not fully matured, not fully ripened, the pulp inside the coconut is attached to the shell. If you break it, it is still attached. But when it is fully ripened, fully matured, then it's very easy to detach that pulp inside from the shell of the coconut. I hope all of us can visualize that. Similarly, the conditioned soul like me is attached to the body. But a pure devotee, like a ripened coconut, he is detached from the bodily identification. So he might be physically present here among us, but his consciousness is residing with Krishna all the time. So this is not some kind of intellectual thinking or some kind of imagination, but because when Krishna enters into the heart of such devotees, the external world becomes insignificant for such souls. Another example given is just like when the sun comes out, manifest in the morning, a lamp that we light up, if we light up a lamp, it becomes of no use, unnecessary. Similarly, when Krishna consciousness is fructified completely in our heart, then we lose consciousness of this material world. So that's the goal of Krishna consciousness, that we might be here, but at the same time we are so much engaged through our mind, body and words into Krishna consciousness that in spite of being in this world, we are at the spiritual platform. Another example we can think of, I was hearing a lecture, is, for example, think about the Wi-Fi network, very dear to all of us. Without Wi-Fi we cannot live. So if the Wi-Fi network is very strong in our home or wherever, any place we are in, even if the mobile signal, the cell tower signal is weak, it becomes of not that significance, right? We can still make calls or do whatever we want to do with the smartphone using a strong Wi-Fi network. So material consciousness can be likened to that weak cellular reception, but Krishna consciousness is like that strong Wi-Fi. So as long as we are in Krishna consciousness, as long as we are engaged in devotional service, then our material consciousness doesn't matter. And sometimes this Wi-Fi signal or Krishna consciousness emotions become so strong, as we are seeing in Uddhava Maharaj, that our material awareness becomes almost nil. So just trying to explain how Uddhava Maharaj is experiencing, what he is experiencing and what he is feeling. We can see these kind of emotions in the pastimes of Vrindavan when the gopis and Mother Yashoda, they're completely absorbed all the time. So how are they absorbed? Because whatever they are doing, it's not that they have left any work or their household work or any activity. What they have trained, they're the eternal, Parshad or eternal associates of Krishna. But how pure devotees do it? Because they have mastered, they have practiced remembering Krishna, maybe while chanting internally or just thinking about Krishna or by relating everything they are doing to Krishna. They have mastered that art, and that's why they are able to think. Just like like Mother Yashoda or gopis, even when they are churning butter or doing any household work, they are singing Krishna's glories all the time. उत्थाय गोप्यो अपरात्र भोगे स्मर्त्या यशोदा सुतबालकेलिं गायन्ति प्रोच्चैर्दधिमन्थयन्तो गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति. It is mentioned when Mother Yashoda or gopis, they used to rise early in the Brahma Muhurta. They were early risers. And so right from that time, they used to remember the childish pastimes of Krishna. The gopis, they used to sing loudly, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, just singing the names of Krishna, whatever they are doing it. Jagdo athādatto navनीत pindo grahe yashoda vichikit shayanti uvach satyam vadhi murare govinda damodar madhaveti. Having churned and set aside a fresh lump of butter in the house, Mother Yashoda is thinking about Krishna, whether he has eaten that or not, or maybe he is stealing at somebody's home again. But the point is that whatever she is doing, she is thinking about Krishna and chanting, Hey Murari, Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. So the idea is that's how the pure devotees, they master this art of Krishna consciousness. So this is the secret of bhakti, devotion. This does not require change in our location or our activities. Of course, if our activities are like that where we cannot remember Krishna, we should try to mold our life in a way that we can make conducive or favorable to Krishna consciousness. But as we become stronger and stronger in Krishna consciousness, these outside things will not matter to us. We might be living in Reading or Harrisburg or New York, some other country. We might be in the office, but still we can reside in Vrindavan. On the other hand, when someone may be in Vrindavan or Mayapur, but he's always thinking of something outside of that, he will not be actually in Vrindavan, he will be living in. So point is that we are where our consciousness is. So if we have to achieve a standard where we can remember Krishna all the time, or can engage our mind and body and words always in Krishna consciousness, then there is some work required. It will not happen by default. Just like Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he sings, Vishaya chadiya kabe shuddha bimana kabe hum here bose Shri Vrindavana. He's he is eagerly praying that when will my mind become so pure that I can think of Vrindavan, meaning Krishna's pastimes, his names, right? So Vishaya Chadya, when can I be detached to these material objects? How can I detach slowly and slowly myself so that I can think more and more of Krishna and his devotional service? So in this verse we are seeing vimṛjya netre, that Sri Uddhava Maharaj is wiping his eyes. Why he is wiping his eyes? Because now tears are flowing. Not ordinary tears, not of tears of some distress or some negative emotions. They are out of love for Krishna. Because hearing the questions of Vidura Maharaj, that has transported him to Krishna's abode. So Srila Rupa Goswami, like I mentioned, he has explained all these emotions in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Very, very important literature that we should be reading, because that describes all these emotions that pure devotees are experiencing, and that will also set the standards for us. We can judge ourselves or evaluate ourselves. Where do we stand? We don't have to make those emotions artificially, but it is important to evaluate as we progress, where do we stand. So we will not go into those stages of that ladder, but it is very well described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But the gist is that when love becomes so intense, very, very dense, then there is no other option but it starts flowing through eyes. That's what is happening to Uddhava Maharaj. Just like when the water pot is completely filled with water, it will overflow. It has no other option, right? So when this love for Krishna, love for devotional service of Krishna, it overflows, then it comes out as tears through the eyes. Now in this material world, what do people cry for? Some problems in relationships, some shortage of money in life, some disappointments, job loss. These are practical problems. But the pure devotees, the sadhus, they cry for Krishna. So, actually Srila Prabhupada, although most of the time he was restraining his emotional, ecstatic emotions, he used to control them, but occasionally we see that Srila Prabhupada also showed these highest level of ecstatic emotions. Few recorded ecstasies of Srila Prabhupada is when he used, once in Los Angeles, he was singing Jai Radha Madhav, and just suddenly he froze while singing. He became overwhelmed with emotions for Krishna, love for Krishna. And seeing that, devotees just started chanting Hare Krishna, until he returned to his external consciousness. So even Srila Prabhupada manifested or showed this, not out of choice, but out of overwhelmed experience. There is a famous incident in Atlanta, I think it is in 1976 or around that, 1975 maybe. Some of us must have also heard that recording of Srila Prabhupada when he was glorifying God, Shri Gaur Nitai in Atlanta temple. He was singing Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gaur Chandra. One of the favorite bhajan that our dear His Grace Vishnuvada Prabhu sings in these classes. So Srila Prabhupada was glorifying Shri Gaur Nitai, that how merciful are these two brothers, that they have even appeared in this city of Atlanta. And just thinking about the compassion, the mercy of Shri Gaur Nitai, Prabhupada's throat choked with emotions. Tears started flowing. His voice was shaking. And it is very well recorded And then he just ended right there by saying Hare Krishna, and he walked away. So the point is that such pure souls, such saints, they exist, and we are so fortunate that we are in the moment of Srila Prabhupada, who was one of such great Mahabhagavat. I have heard even about His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, who went into trance for many days in Mayapur. Beautiful story, how Maharaj was in trance for multiple days. Even in the pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a pastime where Srinivas Acharya, he used to actually, he was such a pure devotee that he used to go into meditation, into deep meditation, and he used to go into actually Chaitanya Leela, Krishna Leela, used to complete his service and used to come back. So once it is mentioned that he was serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he make him sit on the jeweled throne. All of this he is doing in his mind, not imagining, but there is a process through pure devotees do these services at the mental platform. We are not yet there, so we have to rely on the sadhana bhakti. But he was worshipping Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with a gold chamar that we also kind of fan, right? And he also was offering him a flower garland. And when during this seva, this service, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took the garland out of his neck and gave to Srinivas Acharya. And suddenly he lost his meditation, and when he came out, he was there only, right? And he saw that garland was on his neck. So there are countless of such incidents with pure devotees. One more incident I was hearing was shared by Sudama Maharaj, that once he went to, I don't know the name of the temple, but he went to Srila Prabhupada's room, where Srila Prabhupada was staying, and he saw that Srila Prabhupada is deeply looking outside the window in that room, almost stunned, not even noticing who is coming in the room, nothing, not even responding. And Sudama Maharaj later realized this is how pure devotees can bring the whole Vrindavan, whole spiritual world to us, wherever they are. Because in that room, when he entered, he could feel something very different. It was not looking like a normal room of this world. So this spiritual ecstasies are actually real. We might not have experienced it. Of course, I have not experienced it. But they are real, that we can see from the examples of these Mahabhagavat pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada was so humble that he used to say, I have not brought anything new to you. I am just repeating Krishna's message. And just through Krishna's messages, very humbly, he transformed the whole world. He brought the spiritual world to each and every country of this world, so many towns of this world. How could he do that? Because he was always connected to Krishna. His power was in his purity. And he used the phrase, Srila Prabhupada used the phrase, spiritual television. I think in the purport also, right? So, what does it mean? It means when our consciousness becomes purified, Krishna will reveal himself in our heart. And there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam where Narad Muni also mentions that Krishna will appear in those hearts who glorify him without any other motive. So as long as we are engaged in glorifying Krishna through his names, through sharing his pastimes, through helping, in his mission. It is Krishna's mission that this Krishna consciousness should go to each and every person, right? Then Krishna will start appearing in our heart accordingly. In this purport, we also see that how this seed of bhakti, it grows, right? So this seed of bhakti, this seed of devotion, is received through a sadhu, through a guru. It's the famous verse that we always quote. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कौन भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज. The only way we get this seed of bhakti devotion is through Guru. And we get Guru by mercy of Krishna, and we get Krishna by mercy of Guru. So meaning, we get this seed of bhakti through devotees. And then when we get these, otherwise, we are Brahmanda Brahmite. We have been wandering, we have been just going here and there for many lifetimes. This planet, higher planet, lower planet, Earth planet, this species, human species, animal species. We have been going through so many road trips actually, and very, very horrible road trips also. Countless births. But when our great fortune arises, like His Holiness Guru Gobind Swami Maharaj says, the great fortune arises. When does it happen? When these sadhus, these pure devotees, they start coming into our life. That is the greatest fortune. And this fortune is received through association of devotees, through mercy of Guru, of course mercy of Krishna. So important thing, if you want to grow in spiritual life, is to connect with a bona fide spiritual master who connects us to Krishna. Because he will reveal to us our true identity. Unless we find out our true identity, which is nothing but the servant of Krishna. If we carry all other identities from so many lifetimes or this lifetime, we will never be able to connect to Krishna completely. So spiritual master is so merciful, he will reveal to us, or he will shake us to tell us our true identity, and he will also accept all our services and offer it to Krishna. All services we offer are actually on behalf of our Gurudev. And then those services are offered back to Krishna, or they are elevated to Krishna. That's why pleasing Shri Gurudev is very, very important. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada. Without it, advancement is very, very difficult. So, okay, we get this seed of bhakti, seed of devotion. How to maintain it? How to nourish it? Sri Rupa Goswami also mentioned the whole process in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But the two most important things are hearing and chanting. How do we nourish? By watering, right? We have to water the seed. So, how do we do that for our devotion? By constant, regular hearing and chanting process. That's our daily nourishment. So, through hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, by associating with Krishna and his devotees every day through Srimad Bhagavatam, and it has to be done every day. Just like a good gardener will take care of his garden every day, we have to take care of our devotion every day. And then the cleansing of heart will happen. Because that cleaning of heart is very much required if we are to want to experience Krishna more and more in our life. If we want to allow Krishna to reveal himself more and more, then that cleaning of heart is very much required. Just like before Rath Yatras, We hear the pastime of how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleaned the Gundicha temple, Gundicha Marjan pastime. Not just once, twice. He personally cleaned each and every corner of the temple. What does it mean? That before we bring or we allow Lord Jagannath to enter our heart, that cleaning of heart is required. And this process of hearing and chanting cannot be minimized. It's the most important, most powerful process. So that's why there is a nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shravantanam swaha katha Krishna punya shravan kirtana hridayantastu abhadrani vidhunoti surat satam. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who properly hears and chants his messages. Properly. So we have to do this process properly, not as we want, when we want, not as per our ideas or thoughts. Properly. We should get trained. Even we should get trained in this process of hearing and chanting. So therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed in Sikshashtakam that we have to cleanse the mirror of this heart, Chetu Darpan Marjana. Because then our anarthas, our unwanted habits and unwanted impressions from sanskars from so many lifetimes will be removed. So this is just not a activity to purify ourselves, but to clean our heart so that Krishna, Shri Radha Sharad Bihari, Radha Shyam Sundar, they can come and they can feel at home in our heart. Right? They will not go to dirty place. Sadhavo Hridayam Mahyam. So we have to clean this heart to allow Radha Krishna to sit here. And how we do it? Again, the basics are same. Hearing, chanting, devotional service. And then that helps to clean our heart. So if we are able to do this process of Shravan and Kirtanam properly, then this seed will nourish, the creeper will grow, and then it reaches the spiritual abode, the Golok Vrindavan Dham. I'm sure most of us or all of us must have seen this structure of universe diagram, where that soul on this earth planet is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then it is piercing all the layers of universes and going to Shri Golok Dham, right? But that the basics are still the same. So this is how we connect to Shri Krishna. So there is a story that I think Srila Prabhupada used to say, that imagine there are two gardeners. One plants a seed and forgets it. Another gardener, he also planted the seed, but he waters it every day. So after 6 months, the first gardener who did nothing, he will see nothing. But the other will enjoy the nice flowers and fruits. So that's why sometimes when devotees ask, why am I not experiencing taste? Because unless we develop taste, who likes to eat food which is not tasty, right? There is no motivation to eat. So to maintain ourselves, to keep ourselves encouraged and inspired, we want some taste in bhakti also. So that's a question comes to our mind sometimes. Am I really experiencing that taste that other devotees are experiencing? If not, why? We cannot keep blaming others for that. Because that means something is lacking in myself. How regularly are we watering the seed? How nicely are we doing it? Are we allowing the weeds to grow around that area that is, shadowing the real taste? So bhakti grows through consistency. So we have to be very consistent, and we have to follow the process under proper directions. That's also very important. So the difficulties or struggle to taste devotion or Krishna consciousness, because it's easy to say chant Hare Krishna and be happy, but are we really tasting it? If there are some difficulties, meaning devotees have difficulties even reading the scriptures. They feel sleepy. When they hear the classes, they feel sleepy. Attraction is not there sometimes. So what's the solution? These are practical problems. We cannot just say, no, just chant be happy, right? We have to find some practical solutions if we are not feeling inspired or feeling difficulties. So the solution, the practical solution is we should serve senior devotees, advanced devotees. Because Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us that when we serve the pure devotees, advanced devotees, our heart becomes purified, and then when heart becomes purified, then our taste for hearing develops. When our taste for hearing will develop, other things will follow automatically. Our attraction to Krishna consciousness will increase. Sounds simple, but that's it, right? So when we come together every morning hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam, it means we are actually associating with Krishna. We should develop that mood. As soon as we start hearing that now I'm actually associating with Krishna, hearing about him. Whoever might be the speaker, right? But our idea should be that we are associating with Krishna, because he is non-different anyway, philosophically also. So that should be our mood. So we have to just make simple, small twist in our consciousness, and it will do wonders. So just to recap, this Krishna consciousness is something which is profound in these pure devotees. They can experience spiritual ecstasies even while living in this material world. And association, what is in it for me? That if I have the proper association, proper guidance, and if I'm following the process properly, following the process properly of Shravanam and Kirtanam, then I will can also advance and taste at least some portion of these spiritual ecstasies as per my my capacity or as per my endeavor. But the important thing is association of such pure devotees who are coming to us. We take their association, just not seeing them, just not asking for a blessing. Association means exchange of ideas. So what they are saying, we have to accept it. Then the exchange is complete. We have to follow it, right? So with that I will conclude this. Again, I have no realization, but just try to share what I have heard, and hopefully I can implement in my life also. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Uddhava Maharaj ki jai, Vidura Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for a wonderful lecture. You learn a lot from it, and I also get very, very inspired when you break some of the mantras and the songs, that the acharyas have written, that you sing them nicely. Actually, Guru Maharaj used to do the same thing also. Dear devotees, this is the time to unmute yourself, to share realizations from it, to share takeaways from it, and also from the lecture, and also ask questions as needed. So as far as comments go, I'm hoping that Uddhava will make some comments at this point.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu. It's very it's interesting because yesterday we're doing a Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, and we were reading a purport from the fourth chapter of the Adi Lila, and then Prabhupada says, flawless execution of regulative principles is exhibited in the Vaikuntha planets. By strictly executing these principles, one can be elevated to the Vaikuntha planets. But spontaneous, pure, loving service is found in Krishna Loka alone. Oh, so then someone asked the question, oh, so if you can only pure devotional service is in Krishna Loka alone, what about devotees on this plane? Can't they have, who are not allowed to have Krishna, pure devotional service? So this purport answered that directly, that Krishna, the pure devotee, can be simultaneously there in the Krishna Loka and here in this plane. So does that mean that such a devotee can be in two places at once? What do you think?
Yes, from the consciousness point of view, yes, because I would like to share one story that I have personal experience. One of my aunt in India, wonderful devotee of Krishna. Unfortunately, she passed away during COVID. So when she passed away, she used to go to Govardhan almost every month, and very, very wonderful devotee of Krishna. And so like in India, we have, when devotees regularly go to Vrindavan or these places, holy places, they develop some relationship with some priest in that, dham, in that holy place. So this priest, who was connected with their family, when she passed away, that priest didn't know about what happened. She passed away. And next day, he called her son, that, oh, how come Mataji was in Govardhan and never told me? Because every time she used to go, she used to be there. She used to be, contacting those priests or their family. Because I just saw her and then I tried to meet her and I couldn't find her at all. So, how to explain that, I don't know. But that happened to my cousin, she shared that story with me. So it seems like when devotees are very much elevated, they can transport them to multiple places. Somehow, I don't know how, but it seems to be happening.
So the devotee also asked, thank you, that was a very wonderful story. Then when Srila Prabhupada was asked by one devotee, you can read in his letters, that, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's pastimes, we say, are going on in one universe after the other, just like the sun is rising. It's always 8 o'clock somewhere, So if that's true, then Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita, in different universes, one after the other. And each time he's speaking it to Arjuna. So does that mean are there many Arjunas because there's many universes, or just one Arjuna? And Srila Prabhupada wrote back in a little letter, there's only one Arjuna, but a pure devotee can expand themselves or be in more than one place, a pure devotee, but you cannot understand that in a conditioned state, but that's how it is. So similar, like that.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Mother Andarupa has her hand up there.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah,
Please accept my humble
please go ahead.
obeisances.
Hare Krishna, obeisances, Prabhus. Thank you so much for beautifully connecting this verse with nectarian pastimes as well, and your constant reminders throughout that genuine taste develops by sincerely taking shelter of, devotees, just this beautiful nectar. So now more than a question, I want to request you if you can speak something about if developing taste is more dependent on increasing our spiritual practices or on improving the quality of our mood. For example, we constantly discuss and hear about humility, gratitude, services, If you can just share your thoughts on that, it will be helpful for everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So, your point is like, how can we connect this increasing taste in Krishna consciousness, devotion, through improving the quality of our chanting, our devotional practices, our devotional etiquettes, right? So this is what I understood. I think your voice was not so clear. Maybe it's just my audio system.
Yes, Prabhu, you got it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So interestingly, I was hearing Nitai Sevini Mataji this morning, and she mentioned a beautiful example, short example, that that how when we prepare ice cream, to keep it in a proper shape and proper taste, we need to refrigerate it, to keep the refrigerator, otherwise it will melt. Similarly, when we get this process of devotion, when we get engaged in devotional service, to keep it in proper shape and size, we need proper temperature, proper environment. We need to do something for that, right? So that's why she connected that thing, that example, to how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave only 8 verses of instructions, and then 18 years of his last 18 years of his pastimes, he only showed Vaishnava Sadachar, Vaishnava etiquettes, how to deal with devotees, how to interact with devotees, how to talk to devotees. So I think that is, like, your point is so nice, that we need to continuously work on improving the quality of our chanting, which is foremost process given to us. And like we were also discussing in this class, to improve our consciousness when we are listening these classes, just not like a regular or normal listening. We should somehow bring our consciousness, or try to remind ourselves we are directly associating with Krishna and his devotees when we are into these classes in the sadhu sangha. And the most important thing which I feel is definitely the physical association, the personal association of advanced devotees. That rubs like anything. When we serve them, when we are with them, and association means just not being with them. We have to complete that transaction. We hear from them, we understand, we absorb, and we act on it. And then we see whether results are coming or not. If not, it means our understanding was incorrect. We were still using our filters. Because that I see happening with me, with a lot of other devotees also. We keep on using our filters. So slowly, by that service of their Vani, or the pure devotees, following their instructions, I think it's very, very powerful way to bring taste in our spiritual life. And of course, association of like-minded devotees who can, because when we are in the association of like-minded devotees, we always feel inspired. And when we start tasting the taste of the devotion, then our encouragement, our inspiration will be going up and up. I hope, Mataji, that helps. Maybe please, if you or Vishnugada Prabhu, Parikshit Prabhu can add more to that, because that's so important.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you nailed it. Actually, I just want to just add a small point here. Not, Krishna's ways are mysterious. It's no same shloka for all the folks, different shlokas, different folks, different shlokas. So at times, some devotees experience more adversities than, what it seems like others. So then it is a time of reflecting and internalizing what's happening, what is there in it to learn for me. Like you said, like-minded devotees. Sometimes that gift is not there. And actually, the reason I asked, how we can see, we talk about developing the taste, based on spiritual practices. And then there is the element of improving the quality of our mood, and that gets tested. Our humility, our services, our gratitude gets tested when we work as a team, when we serve with other devotees. And not all experiences may be favorable. That is where how much tolerance we can apply it really and still feel grateful, that comes into test. And so that directly I feel, and I have read some of the talks by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami and Radhanath Swami and my Guru Maharaj as well. So, and His Holiness Bhakti Swami as well, who constantly reminded that, put in efforts in your dealings with other devotees as if your spiritual life depends on it. And really, that we know within our heart when we chant the holy names when we are alone, how much, we are absorbed into it, or we are constantly bothered by other thoughts. So that's all. I really liked how you explained with the example of ice cream and the environmental factors. And so thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for yes. That all glories to Nitai Shivani Mataji and Srila Prabhupada. But yeah, tolerate. Very, very important. Very, very important. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much for your response. Are there any other questions? Maybe final questions or comments? We will pass the top of the hour or so. Any final questions? Shameful? Just appreciation. All right. Thank you
you, Shane
very
Prabhu.
much. No, he was not going to ask questions. Just appreciating. Thank you very much for this nice lecture. And devotees, we come to the end of, as far as the weekdays go. This weekend, this Sunday, is Father's Day. We postponed last week's Father's Day Sunday to this week because we were just coming off of the Rath Yatra, and usually people are a
And
little
Panihati
drained.
festival, Prabhu, most importantly.
Yeah, that also. Yeah, Panihati Festival and Father's Day all celebrated together this coming Sunday at the temple. So please be there in decent time so that we all can associate wonderfully with the Lord and ourselves also. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. Vanchakalpatarubhishcha kripa sundibhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you again. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.